Hey guys, so welcome to your weekly music theory lesson. We're going to stick with the major scale today and different ways to start incorporating exercises to develop speed, strength, and stamina and dexterity, but still using the major scale pattern. So we have two different major scale patterns that I've shown you. Right now I'm on the 5th fret of my B string, which you all should know by now is E. Or 5th fret on the E string is A, 5th fret on the D string, no, 5th fret on the A string, my bad, 5th fret on the A string is D, 5th fret on the D string is G, and 5th fret on the G string is C. But I'm taking it down to the 5th fret B string, which is E. It's the same note value as your open E string. I digress, so back to the lesson. So we have two basic one octave major scale patterns that I've shown you. It's going across two strings and going across three strings. And I've told you that these two patterns only really work starting on your 2nd fret, because no matter what, you're going across to your next string on your 1st finger, and you can't really do that when you start on your 1st fret. So major scales there's a reason why scales have numbers, is what I'm trying to say. The note that you're starting on, your root note, the root of the major scale, so the root note that I'm starting on is E. That's what makes it the E major scale. Same thing if you started on C sharp, that's your root note, and that makes your major scale C sharp. But back to E. Root note is E. That means when you count the notes in the scale, that first root note E is 1. You're going up to 7, 8 technically, since you're going up the octave. So if we're looking at it in the whole half formula that I've shown you, so we got your root note and then whole half. That first whole step is the 2nd note in the scale, F sharp. So 1 is the root E, the first whole step is F sharp, the 2nd note in the scale. The 2nd whole step is G sharp. That's your 3rd. So 1, 2, 3, and then your first half step is the 4th note of your scale, which is A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, E, F sharp, G, A, G sharp, A, root whole half. 2nd half of your scale. Now, no matter how you're doing it, I'm going to go across the 3 strings. We have B natural, which is the 5th note in your scale, which is B. That's the first whole step of the 2nd half of the equation, whole half. So we got B, and then the 2nd whole step is C sharp. That's the 6th of your scale. Then the 3rd whole step is D sharp. That's your 7th. And then your final half step is the octave E, which is 8. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, one thing that I do in my practicing, so I practice scales like a mofo to help build up dexterity, speed, understanding of the fretboard, or is practice scales in thirds. So now you're starting your scale on 1. Now the 3rd of the scale is G sharp. It's technically 3 notes away if you're starting your counting on your root E, which is what music theory counting is. Whatever note you're starting on, you start as 1. So E, the root of this major scale, G sharp is the third. So if you're doing scales, you go 1 to 3, then down to 2. 2 plus 3, starting on 2. So the way that we got this counting is 1 to 3. Sorry, that was bad because it's my middle finger, but we got 1 to 3, then we go down to 2, up to 4. So you see how this is going. 1, 2, 3, 1 to 3, 2, 3, 4, 2 to 4, 3, 4, 5, 3 to 5, 4, 5, 6, 4 to 6, 5, 6, 7, 5 to 7, and then 6, 7, 8, 6 to 8. That's how thirds work. So we got 1, so you get a better look. 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, 8. And then if you want to continue in the 1 octave scale pattern, you would need to shift up. Now you wouldn't really need to shift up. 7 to the octave above 2, and then back down again. 2, 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. So basically, when you're practicing your major scale pattern, you're skipping a note. So root note is E. I'm skipping the second, the F sharp, to the third. So since I'm starting on the 5th fret E, 5 on the B string to 4 on the E string, and then 7 on the B string to 5 on the E string, and then 4 to 7 on the E string, 5 to 4 on the 5 on the E string to 4 on the A string, 7 on the E string to 6 on the A string, 4 to 7 on the A string. That's how thirds work. You want to be able to go up and down in thirds per scale. So it works this way of doing the major scale. The way I just showed you, transpose it up and down the neck, because this formula works no matter where you put it. So like we're starting here on the 2nd fret of the B string, C sharp. Trying to get a good angle for you all to see. So that was a C sharp major scale because 2nd fret of the B string equals C sharp. That was my root. So 5th fret on the A string, D. Sorry. Really, this formula works with the root notes starting from the 2nd fret up on the B, E, and A string. Once you get to the D string, you need to start doing that 2-string 1 octave major scale thing, and then obviously the 1 octave major scale on 1 string, because all I've shown you so far is 1 octave scales. So to be fair, I'm going to show you through the other major scale patterns that I've shown you across 2 strings and on 1 string. So on 2 strings, it basically starts the exact same way as going across 3 strings, except we're starting on 5th fret of the D string, which is G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, 8, 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. You get into, once you reduce the number of strings that you're on, you have to start going up in shifts to get to the thirds. So really it starts to get a teensy bit more complicated once we get doing thirds, once we start ascending in thirds up from the fourth of the major scale, which is in G, C. So you got to remember what your major scale is. So the second half of the major scale for G major is D, E, F sharp, G. So going from C, 4, 5, 6. So 5th fret C to 6th fret E, from 5, 5, 6, 7, 7th fret D to 7th fret F sharp, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9th fret E to 12th fret G, and then you got to be able to go back down again. So now we're going to do a 1 octave major scale on the A string. So the root of your scale is the open A string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So remember, whatever note you're starting on, you count up two notes in the scale. So 1 is your open A, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 6, 8, and then back down again. So I hope that this gives you a good understanding on how to play a major scale 1 octave across 1, 2, and 3 strings, and how to be able to play that scale ascending and descending as a scale, and then ascending and descending in thirds. Thirds will help you out more than you want to know. Thirds can help with your reaching, like I've shown you. I can do 7th fret to 12. That's a fourth, and it's not that easy. I mean, right now, I'm doing a fourth here, from 4th fret to the 9th fret. This is the farthest I can stretch, because once you're down here in the nether regions of the neck, the fret spacing is a lot farther out. So, yeah, like, I can go 1 to 4, 2 to 6, 3 to 7, 4 to... This is where I can really stretch out to 9, 4 to 9, 5 to 10, 6 to 11. But you get what I'm saying. Work on your stretching. Work on thirds, up and down the scale across 1, 2, and 3 strings.